sometimes you have to go look at things that it's just numbers. And that's the benefit of being an investor is you can take all the emotion out of it when you look at a house. And that's why I try to work with realtors who are trying to help investors. They try to go in there and think like a realtor who's helping a first-time home buyer.
Yeah, no, we don't care.
It's, they'll be like, oh, well,
Really?
yeah, I know it's not granite. And you're like, tenants don't care.
Yeah.
Like all day. It's not that big of a deal. Or they're like, oh, this yard's kind of tiny. And it's like, my tenants don't want to mow this lawn. It's not those sort of things. And once a realtor starts to like take that emotion out of it, and that's the thing, they're really good, which they need to be. I honestly also think I was not as good of a realtor when I was doing it because I'm not super good with like empathy and kind of being like, oh, your children are gonna love this. And like I'm not cheerleader-ish. Like I'm not building people up in that fashion. And it's very good for investing because I don't look at it and I get worked out. It's just like, all right, matter of fact, this. Tenants don't care about that. They do, it's easier, but thank God there are realtors who do have that because those are the best realtors because they love their clients and they love helping them find their first home that is their dream for their family. And I look at homes and I'm much more like, all right, is it practical? Like, are we going to are the bedrooms split? Are we going to, lose certain tenant bases because of how the house lays out? I look at it more like that. And I think to me, that's kind of a release to be able to look at a house without the emotion.
Yeah.
Because anyone who's looked at homes and people listening to this, like I went with my wife when we were looking for a house and I loved this house. It was in Louisville on Clydesdale, like loved this house. And I remember her just kind of being like, kind of cool about it. Like temperature wise, like, I don't really. And I was like, what's the matter? She's like, it just doesn't feel right. And I'm like, I can't there's no qualitative part to that. It was just her feeling about it was not there. And the thing is on investment home, I don't need to have, it just doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel good, but the numbers look good. So we move forward there. But yeah, a lot of those homes, I always tell people too, they have to understand what renters are looking for. And people think they know, but rent is not the main dictator of why a renter's moving, for example, is not rent. Rent is down below. It's like at 20% of the reason. Number one is maintenance. It's like 48 NAA, National Apartment Association, had a report a while back where, I forgot the percentage, but it was close to 50 was maintenance. Shortly under that was relationship. And then under that, way down low was rent.
Yeah.
So people have to understand when they're doing it, maintenance, and all two of those things are sold solely by you as a landlord. So that's why if they like you and they trust that you're going to get things fixed when they move in, you can rent that thing for anything you want. I mean, those are the two things. If you knock those out of the park in their mind, it doesn't matter what the rent is because they're leaving somewhere where maybe they were paying less. And in their mind, they're like, well, maybe I'm getting what I pay for. Or they're paying more and they're like, well, that's why I'm moving. I'm paying all this money and they're not fixing anything. Right. Or they're rude in the office or they don't answer my calls or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like when you figure out those elements and then you start looking at a house, you're like, all right, I can maintain this. I can do this. And those are big deals. And,
or their rent is so low that they won't even say a word when something. They're like, I'm not going to call anybody.
I just don't want to cause waves.
Yeah. My rent's really low. I don't say anything.
It's tough now.
That call is going to cost me $100 a month.
You're going to be like, wait, I have a tenant? Oh, yeah, I better be increasing this.
100. It's going to cost more than 100, man. We've seen a few.